This is George Dionne of the Rock is George podcast, and this is a KNAC.com exclusive interview with guitarist ADRIAN KUHN and drummer Henning Munch of the German hard rock and punk act KÄRBHOLZ. If I knew absolutely nothing about KÄRBHOLZ, how would you describe the band's music to me?
Kick-ass rock and roll.
It's kind of mixture of some punk rock and some metal elements, I would say, in the main. We're doing a lot of acoustic things, so this was always a big thing for us to mix our music that we love when we're doing our own music. So, and these are the points we match pretty well in metal and punk music. So we decided, okay, let's do this. Yeah.
Your latest album, Chapter 11, Barricades, comes out on Metalville Records on March 24th. It's the follow-up to your 2021 album, Contra. It's been a couple years since the last album, but you guys are going by the mantra that the break is part of the music. Why is that?
Well, there was the last 2 years, or now we're going into the third year, it was more or less it was not a volunteer break, you know, so it wasn't voluntarily because of the pandemic. And first, when the pandemic started and we were in the recording process of a new album, and we were okay, so we want to go on tour with a new album, and we thought about, oh shit, and now everything's closing down, and so the first thought was kind of, oh shit, now we're fucked. But in the end, we turned it around for us a bit to see it as an opportunity, because the band is on tour for 18 years now, and sooner or later there should have been a break in some kind of way, you know. So just a short break for us to, you know, regain power, to regain creativity, to focus on ourselves a little bit more again. And so this break was a great opportunity, to be honest. And we took the very best of this break, you know, this break time. And yeah, we came back stronger.
Yeah, and it's always our music. We don't sing about dragons and knights or some fantasy topics or whatever. It's always the lyrics are about our lives, our thoughts about what's going on in the world or what's going on in our minds, and this is always a situation. So when we're writing the songs, it always describes the situation we're in this moment. And when the pandemic starts, we found ourselves as friends again and had other talks than about music. So we met each other in the garden, had a beer at the fire, and music was just okay. It was unable to play, so we had another chance to meet each other again. Yeah, and that was a great thing. And we just checked how and we Sachen klären and
to sort things out.
Yeah, we sorted things out between us, because we're friends and we're living right next to each other, and we're for 18 years now on the streets without a break, and there was good to have this little break. But after a while, it started to feel like, okay, we have to do music again. But you can hear it on the record, because if everything would be fine, or would have been fine there, and no pandemic and whatever had been, I think that it would be another record. It would be another music. So, and this is kind of, you can hear it because it's more metal, I think it's more
aggressive,
more
fresh
than the last record.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does everyone write together in the band, or are there certain people that write lyrics and certain people that write music, and then you just kind of put it together?
Well, so we've been working since the beginning. Everybody who has an idea is able to bring it to the crowd, you know, to us in the rehearsal room, but over the last couple of years, it kind of worked out the best that Adrian is the most creative one when it comes to lyrics, because he found he found a kind of language that topics are dealt with in a short but precise and pregnant way. And he also found a language that we all speak in some kind. So we four as musicians, and so we all can totally identify with what he brings to the table. So he writes the lyrics more or less mainly. So sometimes I don't know, how should we do the chorus? How should we do that? So we work through that together. But normally he has some lyrics and an acoustic version that would work as at a campfire side as well, And so he brings that to the rehearsal, and then we listen to it, we talk about it, and then we just jump into the music, play it, and find components that can work or that work with that lyric.
This is one main thing about our songs. I think at the beginning there's always a campfire version. Just the acoustic guitar and the lyrics with a melody. And when this really works, the song works. So you can do it like a metal song or a punk rock song, or you can turn it into a ballad or whatever you do. It's just like putting nice little stars and glittery things on it. Yeah. But the song as it is works, and this turned out for us as a good start for every song. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the lyrics of the songs that you have released so far. You've released Predator, which is sort of a song about social structures and kind of interpersonal beliefs. So how can you expand upon sort of the meaning of Predator?
It's a predator which lives in all of us, because so we often we're just gefangen, we're prisoned in a life situation. So we're married, or we have a job, and we have sexual ideas and whatever, and maybe all the things when you're young you live it, and then you wake up and you lost all of this rebellious and crazy thought. You can't live it anymore because you're stuck into your life. And the song is about to let it free, and to it's inside of us, of all of us, and why not let it free and live it again? Yeah, and break these structures you're into in your life. Yeah.
I like that. Another song that you have out, Always Me in My Mind, is sort of something we all kind of deal with, where we have irrational fears inside of us that kind of hold us back a little. And that kind of goes a little bit with Predator, what you said.
Yeah, it's very interesting. At first, I had to think about what song you're referring to right now. It's like, oh yeah, okay, like how you translated it. But yeah, it fits. It totally fits.
Well, you don't want me pronouncing the German version, because I'll just butcher it, like Unter ferner Liefen.
Well, pretty good. Hey, perfect. We had like in the producing process, one of our producers, he was kind of giving the songs mock up English names, like kind of a word by word translation. So it would be Below Distant Beliefs, which is total nonsense. So yeah, the butchering happens here as well.
You have a music video out. The copy of your album I have doesn't have this song on it, so maybe I have an early copy of the new album, but it's Soul on Skin, or Seely off der Hot. And it's a great video. It kind of shows you guys growing up and turning into who you are today, but there's also this removal of your tattoos to kind of show your bare skin, to kind of show the art that you express on your skin as you get to the conclusion.
So for us, tattooing, the tattoo lifestyle, tattooing is part of the rock and roll lifestyle. I started getting my tattoos, and I think Adrian as well, before we were really making like big music or being on tour all the time. So this is kind of a love song to tattoo artists, tattoo studios everywhere. It's just like a little, we love tattoos, and we would want to say, you know, like this is a manifest, kind of a statue for tattooists, tattoo artists, and tattoos themselves, you know.
And the lyrics are autobiography, or because it's about, okay, it was me in the mid 90s, I think 97 or 98 or whatever, 96. It was WrestleMania, yeah, wrestling, and I was a big wrestling fan. I had these wrestle cards with throw it on the wall, and the winner gets it all, and I was an Undertaker fan, and it's in the lyrics. It's all true, huh? And I saw him, and I was really fan of him and his tattoos. And when we were living here on the countryside, and nobody was tattooed here, and my grandfather said, "Oh, what the fuck? It's just the prisoners," and you know, all this, yeah. And I was like, oh, I was so fascinated of these tattoos, and I said, when I'm old, or I'm old enough, I get one. And this is kind of the story behind the song, and it's nothing more than the reality and the thoughts of a 19 or of a 14-year-old boy. Yeah.
Now, for this album, you guys were able to record together in the studio. A lot of bands during lockdown, they just decided to do it online and go back and forth. So was it important for you guys to get into the studio and do it, I guess I would call, the classic way?
Yes, definitely. So the record before the new one, we did it in a kind of way, because we had a friend and technician of ours who built our rehearsal room into a proper studio facility. And so Adrian was in the rehearsal room, and he programmed the drums and stuff. And so we just he built all the songs, the song structure on the last record. And then we just like, okay, yeah, that works, and we just do it, and we go to the studio and record it like that. And so during the break, when we found ourselves again, you know, as a band and as friends, one of the main topics was, we want to go back to make music the classic way, as you pointed. That was very important for us. So, and being in the good position to have a proper studio here for ourselves, we did a lot of the recordings here, which was also very good. So everybody who was not recording at the time could stop by and just sit there, listen, talk to the producers, talk to the musician who's in recording session right now. And so we were a lot closer again during the recording process. And also we did the drum recording, we did in Hamburg, and a lot of the guitar recording in close by Jena. Right. Yeah,
it's in East Germany, but the main things we did here.
Yeah.
Here in this room, I showed.
Yeah.
Laminate wall, and this on this table, it started. Alex, one of the producers, came here, and we just lived together for a couple of weeks. And we were sitting here, drank wine, and started with to come out with these acoustic versions. We tried to turn it into metal or punk rock songs, and we're sitting here, all the band, and was like here with the guitar and just drumming on the table. It has to be like this, and we had a great time together. Yeah.
You had two producers for the album. You had Eki and Alexander. Have you worked with either one of these two guys before?
Yes. I think with Eike, this is our fourth recording, and the third with Alexander, because he skipped one in between. Yeah, but they are great. Alex, so both are also musicians. They are both guitar players. Alex is like a little wunderkind. He can play fucking everything. I had a knee surgery earlier last year, so he jumped in for one of the concerts, you know, on the drums, and I was like, okay, yeah, fuck you, what can't you do, you know? But they are great guys, and Alex is still big. He plays in a death metal band, proper death metal band, is it right? Heaven Shall Burn. They were on a big tour just recently, And yeah, and Ike is now just focusing on producing, but he also was had his share of the music business as a guitarist. And yeah, we love to work with them. We found them a couple of years ago. I think it was like no, eight some years, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a long way. We walk together and we know each other, and they know our music, and they know what we did in the past, and we are able to get an idea of the music of the future of us. So when we have like new songs, they have a known idea how it could be, and so it's a good base to talk about our music and to walk on the music. Then you have some new guy and he doesn't know you and say, okay, it has to be harder, it has to be whatever. But they know how we are and how we want to be and how we were, and it's a good way. We became friends, and it's no work. It's just having fun together and recording songs. Yeah.
Now, you release your albums over the last 18 years. They're all in your native language of German. Has anyone ever come to you and said, hey, guys, if you do an English language record, we could probably market you to a larger audience?
Well, yes. People came to us saying this, but we did it on a just very simple reason, because German is our mother language, and we are way better to express ourselves through the lyrics in the language that we are born and raised with. And also, Torben is not the best when it comes to English. we had the honor to contribute a song for Lemmy Tribute Sampler when he passed away, and it was killed by death. And the first rehearsal of the song, Torben was singing the lyrics, and we were like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be fuck." And then he just learned it really hard, and then he came and it was great. But it was a long learning process for him. So yeah, English maybe someday, but
we talked about maybe doing a best of album and turning our songs into English language. So you have more control over what you're talking about, yeah, because the original version is the same in German. But maybe we do it someday, because it would be for me would be a dream to doing a small tour through the USA.
Yes.
It would be so nice, just not for earn money or for earn fame or whatever, just to have the opportunity to do it, because it would cost a lot of money for us, I think, because we're doing a show somewhere and they're coming 3 people, yeah, but would be fine, maybe someday.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. It's one of the points that Adrian just mentioned. It's a very important point why we are doing music. We're not doing it for the money or the fame. We're just doing it for the experiences and for the love of being on stage and playing music. And so where we are today is just because of this let's go out and let's have some fun attitude. And yeah, that would be the same if we go to the US.
I think even without an English language album or without a tour of the US, you have a very strong record label that you're on, Metalville. They definitely reach a large audience, whether it's in European countries or it's over here in the United States. And you guys have been with them for a while. How did you end up signing with Metalville?
Well, we started with a small German label, which is also based in Eastern Germany, and then over the years we worked with some other labels as well. We also thought about like doing a label on ourselves, but then nobody had, that did not want to do the work, all the hard work. We just want to do music. And so we met a guy a couple of years ago who is now our manager and also a band coach, and he is affiliated with a Wacken music festival, and he's been in the music industry for quite a while. I think like 30 something years now. And he has contacts. He knows people, and so he hooked us up with the guys from Cologne, which is also nearby. It's just like an hour ride from here, And yeah, we went there and we sat down. We had a nice talk, and it was the same how we over the years met people that we are working with now, and it was just, you know, we had the same base, we had the same wavelength, we spoke the same language kind of way, and so yeah, that's how we ended up with them.
Yeah, and one important thing was there were, I think, 2 or 3 other bigger labels. They were interested in us, and they sent us some contracts and some ideas, and it was always like, okay, we're getting the merch, the rights. We sell merch for you, and the contract is about 3 options. So if you do one record and 3 on top, and it's over 6 years, and blah 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 blah. And we always did everything on our own. We sell our merchandise. We booked for us. We didn't have a booking agency maybe till 6 years ago or whatever. But always we're just our own bosses. Yeah. And they came and they wanted everything from us. They wanted to squeeze us out, and we said no. We wanted to
be independent.
Yeah, we want to be independent, and we don't want to lose the control of ourselves. And the guys from Metalville, they said, okay, do whatever you want to do. We want to in the best way to let you grow, yeah, and to stand on your side, but you will keep what you have and just be creative and do what you want to do. This was a big thing.
You guys are going to be heading out locally to promote the album on tour. You got some dates set up throughout Germany. Are you going to be doing any festival stops along the way?
Oh, yes. Well, it's not that much that we wished for a release year this summer, but there are some big shows coming up, and yeah, we're pretty stoked about that. So,
we're playing the first time ever on the main stage on the Wacken Open Air. Yeah. And this is a big thing for us because there are, I think, 2 or 3 million people on the stage. I don't know. No, this will be a big thing, and a couple of other festivals. Yeah, but we will do a really small tour, just 6 dates yet now in the spring, because so many tours are canceled here because the people do not buy tickets. Yeah, not in the pre-sale, but you have to plan. And when people don't buy tickets in the pre-sale, we decided, okay, to minimize our financial risk, and then but we can say, okay, we guarantee we play every single show. Yeah, and it's kind of 6 cities, gut verteilt irgendwie gleichmäßig.
Yeah, they're spread out so that we can obtain like the best, the most of Germany during the tour. It's like the main cities for a certain area, you know, kind of.
Yeah. So we were able to play a tour and not to cancel the shows.
Yeah,
and
which is a really big thing at the moment, and it's really sad to see a lot of also like young bands who just started, or bands that have been on tour for a while and didn't make it big yet, you know, and so that now people can go out again, but we got another crisis, you know, there's the war, and people are like, I don't know, you know, like that's why they're not buying tickets. And so many friends that we met along the way in other bands, they are canceling. It's a really sad thing to see at the moment, you know.
You used to have your own open air festival, didn't you?
Still have.
Okay.
And it will take place again this summer. Also, we will not cancel it because we have a very loyal fan base.
It will be sold out. It will be great.
Yes. Yeah.
So is this festival on the same level as, well, maybe not Wacken, which is gigantic, but I mean, is it multiple bands and mainly, you know, acts from your area, or does it involve kind of acts from all around?
we have 2 days live music, and it's kind of 5,000 people per day, and we have a camping ground, and we have some actions going on around the festival side. And there are bands from Germany, from Czech Republic this year, from England, I think, from Sweden. So friends of us or bands we played on other festivals with, and it's our own festival. So and the people really love it, because there's no other festival in this kind of festival near here. So it's the only good festival around 200 kilometers, I think. Yeah.
Well, those are all the questions I have for you today. The new album, Chapter 11, Barricades, comes out March 24th through Metalville Records. I'm going to pronounce it in German now. Kapitel 11, BARRIKADEN.
Very good.
And that's out on the 24th, Metalville Records. Adrian, Henning, I had a great time learning more about the album, and I'm glad you could take the time to be on the podcast.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.